Good morning and welcome to MotoCity. Today we're going to be taking a look at these 4 neat motorcycles from Kayo USA. Starting with the K2-230, which Kayo says is quite possibly the best entry-level dirt bike ever made. We're going to put that to the test today and we're going to let you know exactly what that looks like. We then jump up to the K4-250. This is going to be an air-cooled 250 with an extremely cost-effective price point. We then jump up to the K6-250. Now this K6-250 is going to rival most 250cc 4-stroke liquid-cooled dirt bikes. We're going to put it through its paces later today as well. And then stepping on over here, brand new for 2021, we have the Kayo K2-250. Now this is going to be a 250cc 2-stroke dirt bike. This is going to rival KTM's 250 2-stroke and even the 300 2-stroke that they've got. But really the goal of today is going to be to jump on each one of these machines respectively so you can understand how each of these bikes rides different, how they feel different, the different componentry that each of these bikes have, and which bike would be best for your first Kayo motorcycle. Now Kayo's been in the market since 2002, an effort to create economical dirt bikes for those who want to ride. I mean, the prices of dirt bikes have been going up year after year after year. One of Honda's lead developers went over to Kayo and started this business in an effort to create economical dirt bikes for those who want to ride. Right now, the Kayo lineup has about 23 different vehicles, ranging from small mini bikes to quads to these bikes that you see here. The K6-250-EFI as well as the KT-250 legit can be used on racetracks. Now the K6 over here is a bit different of an animal. They've gone from more of the entry-level motorcycles to more of a professional or even competition machine. I have seen people recently racing the K6-250-EFI out there on the racetrack, and they do a remarkable job. Likewise, we have the hard enduro machines from KTM, both their 250 and their 300cc motorcycles. And this year in 2021, Kayo launched this guy over here, the KT-250. This is going to rival those motorcycles from KTM and Husqvarna, and I think that we're going to see more of these out on the trail as you get a chance to see how well these bikes are made and how well they perform. And that's really the thing that we're looking to do today. When you look at these bikes, they are put together really well. They've got features and benefits on them that a lot of bikes don't even have from the factory, such as disc brake guards front and rear. We've got foldable levers, all kinds of trick stuff on these motorcycles that are all aftermarket components when we talk about the big Japanese manufacturers or even the European manufacturers. But really, the big thing that I want to bring to the table today and bring to light is how each of these motorcycles are different. Which one of these motorcycles would be best for you? The Kayo KT-230 is said to be the best entry-level motorcycle, and at $23.99, I mean, how could you go wrong? Well, today we're going to jump on it and see just what this bike can do. Moving on up in the line, about $1,400 more expensive is this guy right here. This is the Kayo K4-250. This is going to be an air-cooled motor that's going to give you 250 cc's of middleweight adventure / dual sport power. It's going to be a really fun motorcycle out there. Now stepping up, we have the liquid-cooled K6-250-EFI. The K6-EFI is phenomenal. So we have Rojo fuel injection, which I've done some research on, and there are a lot of aftermarket components available for that. There's flash kits available, there's tunes, it's really, really cool. And the retail price of this K6 is just less than $5,000. We're looking at $4,499. And then we jump up to the only 2-stroke bike in the lineup, and this is a super exciting offering. We know that the 300cc Husqvarna and KTM right now is one of the most popular or best-selling motorcycles in the off-road space. Guys are eating those things up. And now Kayo has this option for just $52.99. So my question for this motorcycle as we get out there on the trail today is it really comparable to those machines? Now, if you want to learn more about each one of these machines, I've got all the features, specs, benefits, weights, wheelbases, all of that information is detailed on a bike-by-bike breakdown. Visit our YouTube channel, you'll be able to see all of that information is detailed on a bike-by-bike breakdown. Now it's time to get these motorcycles out there onto the road and onto the trail so I can explain to you as best I can how different they feel when riding them in those situations. Now there are 3 different 250cc motorcycles here, the air-cooled, the liquid-cooled, and the 2-stroke. It's going to be fun to be able to explain how those bikes are different while they're out there on the trail. Now we're going to produce separate YouTube videos for each one of those rides. So take a look down in the description of this video and you're gonna find each of the ride videos for each of these different motorcycles. While I'm getting geared up, why don't you go grab a cold beverage and a snack and then meet me back here and we can discuss my thoughts and feelings or my wrap up of how each of these bikes did out there on the road and on the trail. Well, that was a magnificent day. As you can see, the sun is going down. We've got long shadows, and we've spent about 5.5 hours out there in the desert on these 4 machines. I've got to say that all 4 machines are extremely different. If you're looking for a certain type of riding, I could definitely pigeonhole you into one of these 4 bikes. Now, as I was finishing up the day, an interesting thought crossed my mind. This 250 here, you could hit any motocross track, you could rip across the desert, this thing pinned full wide open. The power band on this is super linear, and it doesn't taper off towards the top end. As for the 250 2-stroke, it's amazing in the mid-range. In the low range, it powers like a tractor, just amazing precision. That is the amazing feeling of a 2-stroke. Now moving on this direction over here, the K4 250 was a really neat machine. Nowhere near as refined as that K6. The motor was a little bit more choppy, if you will. The clutch engagement was definitely not as good as the K6 250. And then we get down to the K2 230, which was really the thing that blew my mind today. That little 230 has a lot of bark. It was a lot more powerful than I had anticipated. But this bike was phenomenal when it came to the amount of power I got, the smoothness of the motor. I actually thought that that 230 motor was actually smoother than the K4 250. I was shocked when I got on the K4. I actually liked the 230 just a little bit better. Kind of interesting. Now the 230 is the perfect motorcycle for the back of your RV, or for somebody you want to put on there that just wants to putt around and doesn't want the bike to ever get out of control on them. That 230 was phenomenal. I mean, just the small platform made it absolutely perfect for just throwing it around, having fun, having a good time. Almost nobody that you put on this motorcycle would be intimidated by it. Now I do have to say that I gave it a flat tire while I was out there somewhere. That's kind of a bummer, so I got to get that one repaired. Moving on over to the K4 250, this was interesting. So this is now a full-size 250cc motorcycle frame or platform, but the neck of this motorcycle is much further down. The handlebars are down here at my waist instead of being up here in more of a race stance or position. Definitely a very comfortable, trail-worthy, cruising around motorcycle. Again, the power of this I didn't feel was as strong as that of the K6 250. So different motor, air-cooled motor versus liquid-cooled motor, a little bit more old school, a little bit more refined. 66 miles an hour is what we have for the top speed. Moving on over to the K6, you can see that the handlebars of this motorcycle are significantly higher than that guy over there. We're looking here versus here. The K4 250, look how close that triple clamp is to the top of the head tube there, versus this head tube extends up, and the forks and the handlebars and everything is much taller on this K6 than it is on the K4. And the handlebars are up higher. You have more of a just an upright, aggressive stance on this K6 versus on the K4. big difference in seating position, big difference in how you feel when you're attacking obstacles. This bike is definitely much more aggressive than that of the K4 250. Now, when it comes to starting these motorcycles, the electronic fuel injection on this one just makes it purr to life instantly. Now, this here isn't fuel injected motorcycle. This is the K6-EFI. Whereas the others, we have a choke knob and procedure that you have to go through to get those guys started. Oh, there it is. Again, old school technology, carburetors and chokes. While this guy here is fuel injected. Moving on over to the KT250. This had the same attack stance that I had on the K6 250. The bars are nice and up high, everything's in front of you. The breakable levers are really nice. Again, you walk around these bikes, these two here specifically, and you can see features and benefits that these bikes have out of the factory that would be an add-on addition or an additional accessory you'd have to purchase on a lot of the Japanese or even the European machines. So just in a nutshell, that KT250, if you're looking to crawl around and rock crawl and do enduro type stuff, that's definitely the bike that you want to look at. If you want to ride fast, motocross, or rip across the desert, I'm going to say this K6 250 would be the bike that you would want to choose. They're a little bit more expensive than these other two behind me over here, but the actual fit, finish, and just the way these bikes feel, the smoothness that you get and the refinedness that you feel out of those two machines is worth it, in my opinion. Moving down the line, we have the K4 250. If you're looking for a full-size machine just to get your feet wet, you can't beat the price point on that thing, and it will take you anywhere. And then the K2 230. If you're looking for a super fun motorcycle that any member of the family could ride, it's not going to get out of control and everyone's going to have a blast, I'm going to coin this thing the perfect RV motorcycle. It's smaller in stature, but it's bigger than a pit bike. It's comfortable, it's powerful, it just does the job. Anyway, that there is my breakdown of these 4 different 230 to 250cc motorcycles from Kayo. Kayo's doing a great job, guys. Take a look at these things. The build quality is really, really nice. They're doing a great job. They come with warranties and they come with aftermarket parts that you would normally have to purchase on your own. So from the range of about 2,500 all the way up to 5,500, let's say, you can get the perfect motorcycle for the type of riding that you're looking to do. I was thinking, you know what? Both of these bikes together, the fun rock bike and the wide open desert bike, you could literally have both of these for less than the price of one of the European motorcycles at the moment. Pretty crazy. Thank you guys for watching, really appreciate it. MotoCity is a full stocking dealer. We've got lots of these bikes in stock and they're ready to go out the door. Whether we ship them to your house or whether you ride away on them here out our front door, well, that's your choice. Anyway, if you have any further questions about these bikes, please leave a comment down below. I would love to know any questions that you've got, or I'd love to know your feedback. Are you just not happy with it because it's a Chinese manufacturer? Or are you stoked because this is a valued price bike that you can get into? Until next time, take care and ride safe out there.